Yeah, 2, 3, 4. Baby, you can get on my boat and make it rock, yeah. Yeah, 2, 3, 4. Baby, you can get on my boat and make it rock, yeah. Baby, you can get on my boat and make it rock, yeah.
Kita terus berdiri hari ini kerana kita kekal bersama. Kita tempuhi cabaran bersama kerana kita jaga kita. Bersama kita bangkit semula. Membina kehidupan yang lebih baik. Peluang yang lebih cerah. Untuk kita semua, rakyat Malaysia. Walaupun perjalanan masih jauh. Namun kita akan terus melangkah bersama. Demi kesejahteraan Malaysia.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4. Baby, you can get on my boat and make it rock, yeah.
Kita terus berdiri hari ini kerana kita kekal bersama. Kita tempuhi cabaran bersama. Kerana kita jaga kita. Bersama kita bangkit semula. Membina kehidupan yang lebih baik. Peluang yang lebih cerah. Untuk kita semua, rakyat Malaysia. Walaupun perjalanan masih jauh. Namun kita akan terus melangkah bersama. Demi kesejahteraan Malaysia.
Baby, you can get on my boat and make it rock, yeah.
Kita terus berdiri hari ini kerana kita kekal bersama. Kita tempuhi cabaran bersama. Kerana kita jaga kita. Bersama kita bangkit semula. Membina kehidupan yang lebih baik. Peluang yang lebih cerah. Untuk kita semua, rakyat Malaysia. Walaupun perjalanan masih jauh. Namun kita akan terus melangkah bersama. Demi kesejahteraan Malaysia.
Yeah, two, three, four. Baby, you can get on my boat and make it rock, yeah. Baby, you can get on my boat and make it rock, yeah.
Good morning and welcome back to GRADUAN Aspire. Today is our third day in Aspire from 24th to 27th of October, so that means tomorrow is your last day. My name is Wafi and I'm excited to have you with me here today because we have a very exciting session coming up. The topic of choice today is an interesting one and one that many of us can relate to. Millennials and the future of work. Now, before we begin, we'll be playing a short video for all our viewers. So please enjoy. So now that video was about 5G in Malaysia. If you'd like to watch the full video, it's available on TM's social media and on their YouTube. So now I'm going to be introducing our speaker, who is a very special speaker today. He was part of the panel on the opening day. And our speaker is the current Chief Human Capital Officer of Telekom Malaysia, and this month marks his 2-year work anniversary. He's a very well-traveled individual, having taken on assignments in Switzerland, South Africa, and the Philippines before returning to Malaysia in 2014. As recently as September this year, he was appointed Vice President of the Malaysian Employers Federation and has also represented Malaysia in the Fit Touch World Cup. Please welcome back Malaysia's HR icon, Encik Farid Basir. Farid.
Thanks, Wafi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Greetings to all of you. Appreciation to GRADUAN that invite me to the career webinar with the topic of millennials and the future of work. As you know, life is what happens to you while you are busy making other plans. And what I'm going to share with you in the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'll be sharing about IR 4.0, what's the impact to the society, the organization, to economics, to millennials. I'm going to share about the distribution of wealth, the future of job distribution in the industry, the automation, the emerging Robo Geek economy. And then I will talk about all of you about the millennials and finally about the future of work with regards to digital skills. Now, before I proceed with that, let me briefly talk about Telekom Malaysia, TM. TM is an organization consists of 22,000, more than 20,000 employees. Well, although we have 22,000, in essence, we have more than 32,000 in our talent ecosystem. And I know when we talk about TM, you're familiar with Unify. We are more than Unify. Unify at home as well as at domestic that represent the biggest chunk of our business. Yet, in addition to that, we also serve the public sectors, the enterprise, and the government through TM1. We also serve other carriers internationally and domestic through TM wholesale. So these are our three about whether it is a fourth revolution or an extension of the third revolution. But most agree by now that we have entered a new one. That is the digital revolution, bridging the human with the cyber world. If we look at the slide, the blue one, we see three major industrial revolutions that have taken place through history. The Industrial Revolution 1.0 was the mechanical revolution centered around production of equipment powered and driven by water and steam. The second industrial revolution occurred in 1870. This is the pace of electrical revolution. Yeah, mass production was enabled by division of labor and the use of electrical energy. The first assembly line, the fault line, was probably the most famous example of IR 2.0. The third industrial revolution occurred in 1969 with the advent of microcontroller and IT automating manufacturing, and that is when the internet was launched. The internet came from the military, from ARPANET, and was designed to keep military communication going when the phone system was down. This revolution was scalable, add more computers, IT system, and technology, and improve scalability. By doing the right thing, we should achieve economic of scale. And now where we are at the fourth industrial revolution. It is distinguishable from the third because it is where humans meet the cyber world, where technology and people are not distinct, not separate. We have the PC and we had a life. Today, our devices and sensors will become an extension of us. Facebook is already an extension of us, more so TikTok or Instagram. Our phones are extension of us. Our smartwatches are extension of who we are and what we do. This fourth revolution has the same triggers as the third revolution, but it's cyber meets human this time. It is the same in the businesses. Everything get integrated, customized, and smart automated. The Industrial Revolution 4.0 automates complex tasks. It's the age of IoT, Internet of Things, as well as cloud computing. The question that we need to ask ourselves, will Industrial Revolution 4.0 impact the job, the work, the future of work? This is why I'm going to share with you what will be the implication of IR 4.0. If we look at the next page, this is a very interesting facts and figures with regards to the share and distribution of wealth. Credit Suisse reported that the richest 1% of the population now owns half of all household wealth, more than 50%, 50.1%. Oxfam reported in 2018, 26 people own the same as 3.8 billion people who make up the poorest half of humanity. And while financial crisis caused suffering, it also resulted in the fortunes of the richest increasing dramatically, with new billionaire created every 2 days between 2017 and 2018. Can you imagine that? That's the impact of RR 4.0. Next page. We will start by having a quick poll. What I want you to do is to go to scan the QR code or go to the link to answer our question. We will take 1 minute so I can hear from you. Yeah.
All right, so guys, do scan the QR codes and answer the questions in the document provided there. And also, we'd like to invite everyone to keep sending in their questions to the chat box located on the right side of the screen, because we'll pick a few questions to win lucky prizes at the end of the day.
Thank you, Afi. Okay, thank you. By now, I believe you have answered the questions. Let's look at the next slide, the future of jobs, where we are looking at the disruptions in the industry demands lifelong learning. According to World Economic Forum, in its study reports entitled "The Future of Jobs," in the next 5 years, there will be 7 million job loss in the traditional industrial and service sectors, leading to a net loss of over 5 million jobs. WEF also reported that 75 million jobs will be displaced worldwide through automation between 2018 and 22, with the human share of labor hours going down from 71% to 58% by 2025, and 42% of core skill required to perform existed to perform the current jobs are expected to change. Can you imagine that? 42%. But it is not all doom and gloom, as over 133 million new jobs are expected to be created in major economies. And this represent opportunities where, if we manage well, the future of work may one where many people are able to fulfill their full potential. This is where, ladies and gentlemen, the audience, I believe you are, most of you are graduates. You have your current challenges, but it is important to understand that there will be new jobs created which require different set of skills. If you go to the next page, I will be sharing about the reshaping of jobs. Automation increasingly becomes the norm. It demands new skill sets and a more diverse workforce, where we need to reshape and reimagine, redefine jobs. Managing a successful transition to a new world of work will require significant and well-coordinated efforts by both public and private sectors. The good things for millennials like you are very agile, you are more responsive to changes. Yeah. And of course, governments will have a duty of care to shape policies and social programs and ensure good governance to ensure the human wellness and welfare is taken care of as we make transition to the new world of work. This is where my role in Malaysia Employee Federation, we are part of the National Labour Advisory Council, and this is where we will debate and come up with labor policies with support for large scale reskilling and upskilling and enhance social protection to have employees. Yeah. So if we go to the next slide, I'm going to talk about the emerging robo gig economy. As we apply this to IR 4.0 that I mentioned earlier, technology progress has been the engine of the development of this human society since the dawn of civilization. Each industrial revolution era has created a great deal of change in society, as well as in the way work get done. And we are now in IR 4.0, which can be described as cyber human system. And while the capabilities in which technology are being integrated within societies and within businesses, with automation substitute human labor for some tasks while creating new types of work. However, IR 4.0 has great potential to bring positive impact to society at large. They are still part of the world, as you know, that are still going through IR 2.0 as well as IR 3.0. This inequality will lead to a greater divide between the have and have not due to the potential adverse impact of IR 4.0, which are wealth inequality as well as a massive job loss. We go to the next slide. Let's talk about future of work. Even in the space of human resource, we know that we shifting. There are key shift. We are shifting from job security towards employees security. We always talk about lifelong learning, but now we talk about open talent economy. We are not only looking at permanent staff, we are looking at gig employees. As you know, gig employees like Grab, yeah, these are gig economies. We also look at top-down change, but now we look at open change, open source change, where we have to embrace the ever-changing employment landscape. Yeah, and next page, let's look at what are the drivers for the future of work. These are some of the drivers: cloud computing, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, RPA, robotic process automation. That in the past, if we do the transactional processes, it will take few days. But now with RPA, it can be done 24 hours and less than, let's say, 2 3 minutes, depends on the processes. We also looking at multiple realities, 3D printings, collaboration, as well as agilities. These are all the drivers for future of work. Now, if we go to the next page, let's talk about millennial and future of work. This is the essence of our discussion. In the next slide, I will share with you about millennials and future of work. Now, when we talk about future of work, we talk about the what of job, have shift from permanent to gig, permanent hybrid, which is open talent system where you have permanent as well as gig jobs. Why the why of work have changed? I think millennials, they are looking at the purpose of job, where it's not only at the office, we can work anywhere, as seen what COVID-19, the virus that have shift and changed the way that we work. How as well, because now we use a lot of digitalization. Of course, when, yeah, anytime and anywhere. When we talk about millennial, there's surveys that have been conducted by PwC, and I would like to share with you what are some of the findings. We know that the millennials generation now enter the workforce in vast numbers. Sources indicate that presently Malaysia millennials make up 40 to 50% of the workforce. So all of you are making up the majority of the workforce in Malaysia. Uh, they will also this generation, when we look at it, support a significantly larger older generation as life expectancies increase. Yeah, and keeping attracting and keeping younger workers, the millennial is one of our biggest challenge. And it is clear that millennials, all of you, will be a powerful generation of workers who will influence how and where we work in how we operate at the workplace, because all of you represent one of the biggest challenge that many organizations will face. Now, who are the millennials? Millennials were born in the tech age between 1981 and 1996. You are digital native. Yeah, of course, we know the feedback that we have received. You are the hardest generation among Gen X or baby boomers to engage, according to a certain research. And employers like us need to keep up with technological advancement and provide the latest digital tools that may engage better, that may engage all of you better at work. And first and foremost, companies should tap into millennial intrinsic desire for personal fulfillment and a sense of purpose. And millennials value product less than meaningful experience. You need meaningful experience. Millennials are idealistic rather than pragmatic, and continuously searching for personal fulfillment rather than just a job. Yeah, and I know that all of you don't tolerate subpar experiences, ranging from brand delivering a customer experience to employers like us delivering an employee experience. Yeah. So we also realize that socially engaging experiences, real time feedback, and mobile access positively impact engagement with millennials. We also found out that attracting and hiring talent is only the start of establishing a positive employee experience. Employers like TM must first make employee experience a priority, especially among millennials, because we know that you have the tendency to move to another role when you feel underutilized. With that, I will share with you what's the skill required for future of work, no matter what's the field, whether you are in HR, whether you're in engineering. These are the three skills required. What I call it the three Ds. What are the three Ds? Data, digital, and design thinking. I will talk about digital in details later. Yet, data is all about your ability to analyze, make sense of, and give the data driven recommendation. And you must familiarize yourself with the tools and able to tell a story with data visualization. And this design thinking is all about um, looking at the unmet needs of customer and convert that into innovation opportunities. So you can Google all these three. These are the 3D, what I call it as the skill required for the future of work. If we go to the next slide, yeah, let's go to the next slide. The next slide, I will be talking about the 10 digital skills that can make graduates like you more employable. Over the past decade, companies across industries have digitized our operations and processes. Even now, businesses are employing AI to streamline workflows and supply chains. As a result, today's job seekers, like all of you, require specialized skills to help you stand out from the crowd. Whilst we know that some universities and training providers have modified or expanded their curriculum to meet this growing demand for digital know-how, digital literacy, many academicians educators are struggling to provide the essential skill student needs. Yeah, I would like to share the 10 key digital skills that we should offer to meet your industry, to meet your need as well as the industry need. And what are some of the 10 digital skills? We're talking about social media. We are familiar with social media. But then this is how you're able to use social media to maximize community engagement. We talk about SEM, search engine marketing, as well as data analytics that I mentioned earlier. Content marketing also, where in this with this particular skill, you'll be able to drive brand awareness and establish brand or influencer as thought leaders. Of course, email, even though people say that no longer focus on email, but still, if you do it well, it can be used to achieve successful campaign videos. Now, our we know that our attention of span of attention is very small. That's why Instagram only looking at 1 minute video. Talk about strategy and planning, social selling, pay per clicks, marketing, and mobile. So these are the 10 digital skills that can make all of you more employable. So let's go to the next slide. The next slide, we're going to pause. We're going to take quick poll number 2. So please scan the QR code on the screen to answer our question. I will give you 1 minute for the quick poll number 2. Yeah.
Yep. So I think while our viewers are answering quick poll number 2, maybe you can have a look at the answers to quick poll number 1,
Yeah.
the one we had earlier.
Yes, please.
Yep. So I've sent you the results of that. You can have a look at that.
Okay, let me have a look.
Quite a strong number of people agreed that IR 4.0 will definitely impact the future.
Wow, 63%, yeah?
Yep.
So 63% strongly agree, 21.5 agree, and around 10, 10 neutral, and 5.5 disagree. So
yep.
strongly agree that IR 4.0 will significantly impact the future of work. Thanks for the feedback. This is a good insights that we got from all of you. Yeah.
Yep. We had over 100 responses there, but the
Wow.
responses are
Okay.
actually continually increasing there.
Yeah.
I think after you further explained about the impact of IR 4.0, I think the little percentage of disagree might change their minds.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Thanks for responding to quick poll number 2. I'll be talking about what are the 7 key areas of future jobs, and I give you some statistic. Yeah. For example, let's talk about the first 3. There are 7 key areas of future job: data and AI. This year, we're looking at 78,000 opportunities, but in 2 years' time, it triple, it's double to 123. So what are some of the emerging jobs like AI specialists, data scientists, yeah, data analysts, big data developer? These are some of the emerging jobs. When we look at engineering and cloud computing, significant increase from 60 to 91,000. So what are some of the jobs? You can see there on the screen, like front-end engineers, DevOps engineers. We still, as you rightly mentioned, sales, marketing, and content has been around for decades. Yeah, yet it have reimagined and reshaped the jobs in sales and marketing, content. Now we see jobs like social media assistant, content producer, yeah, enterprise account, still the same old job like before, digital specialist, chief commercial officer. These are some of the jobs. If we go to the next slide, we have another 4 key area of future of jobs. What are the 4? Of course, people and culture, not significant improvement yet. Product development, you can see there. Care economy, because increase percentage of mortality from 193,000 to 260,000. And finally, the green economy. So these are the 7 key areas of future of jobs based on the World Economic Forum survey. Yeah, it is important for us to know what are the key areas of future jobs and what are the emerging jobs. So we know that how we can, based on whatever that you have learned in the past at your universities, how you can uh, position yourself in this particular roles. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah. So, in your chat, you can post your questions, and you may win a special token from TM. Now, my focus is the. I just want to talk about not more than half an hour, but it's good to hear from all of you. You can ask beyond future of work. You can ask about employability, how to promote your employability. Yeah. So if you go to the next slide, this is where I need uh, your help. Yeah. To TM has been nominated for the 2021 Graduates Choice Award. Thanks to all of you that have been supporting us and continue to support us. You can scan now and vote TM, share and win, because you stand a chance to win attractive prizes in the Graduate uh, Choice Award. Yeah. So TM has been nominated for 2 categories, CLC as well as telecommunication. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah. Now, I would like to invite all of you to visit our virtual booth. I know it's not easy during COVID-19. Most all of us are staying at home now. Yet, we are reaching out to you to provide career tips as well as job vacancies. So you can visit our 2 career fair now, Talent Bank Digital Career Festival 2.0 from 5th to 30th, as well as GRADUAN Aspire that will end tomorrow. Uh, Please follow us at our LinkedIn as well as our Facebook. Let's go to the next slide. And if you want to know and to get a personality profile assessment, please scan this QR code. Now, why personality profile assessment is very crucial? When you put in your resume, more often than not, you will describe yourself like, yeah, for example, I can work as a team, yeah, creative, innovative. But more often than not, this is based on the feedback that you have received from your colleagues. Yet, imagine that when you submit your resume and you attach a scientific personality profile assessment, it will be more credible. So take the opportunity. This is from Telecom, to all of you that take your time to attend our session. Thank you for attending this webinar. Scan the QR code and you'll be getting a free personality profile assessment. Yeah. And finally, next slide. Don't miss the next career webinar. We're going to have another one tomorrow at 3:30. This time around, Shaliza will be sharing with all of us. Yeah. And she be talking about what are the top skills employers looking for in candidates. Uh, don't miss the next webinar tomorrow at 3:30. Put it in your calendar. And last slide, thank you very much. Follow us again in our LinkedIn as well as our Facebook. And don't forget to vote us and stand a chance to win attractive prizes. You can scan the QR code now. Thank you very much. And over to you, Wafi, for question and answer.
Right. Okay. So now is probably the most exciting part of the show, the one that everyone waits for. So again, we'd like to invite everyone to send in their questions to the chat box. We've already picked up quite a few questions, which I'll be asking to Farid in a second. But
Yeah.
before we go there, of course, during career fairs, we always see you there, Farid, and you're always quite
Yeah.
active there.
Yes. Yeah.
Like to know one thing you miss about career fairs, physical ones, that is, the main thing.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the main thing you miss about career fairs?
I think nothing like physical interactions. Yeah, reaching out to the future leaders of Malaysia. That's something that I really miss. Yeah, because I believe all of you have taken the first step in your career life, which is networking. So when you visit a career fair, it's all about reaching out to the employers, understanding, because by visiting a career fair, you're able to know more about the companies, because the representative will be there, and you can sense the company culture from the career fair itself. Yeah, because you can compare from one company to another, and the energy that you sense at that particular company booth is basically a reflection of what you will experience at the workplace. Trust me. So the best way to know how TM works, for example, how other company works, you just go to the booth, you meet up with their leaders, have a conversation, ask questions. Even though you don't get the job, but at least you make new friends. Yeah.
All right. So definitely, it's the human interaction that you miss about career fairs. Myself too, of course. Right. So yeah, I don't want to take too much time away from our viewers by asking my own questions. So the first question we've received is from 𝘱𝘺𝘭𝘭𝘆𝘭𝘆. Her question is, although IR 4.0 can bring better productivity and improve quality of life, what are the cons of IR 4.0 and how are they being dealt with? With everything being connected, does it put an emphasis on cybersecurity and possible ethical issues? So she's pretty much asking about the cons of IR 4.0, how it's being
Hmm.
dealt with, and the issue of cybersecurity.
Okay. I uh, in terms of this is where one of when we talk about cybersecurity, this is where the regulators, every country, we come up with regulations and enforce this. So I'm not worried about cybersecurities, because as technology advance, the regulation will also cope up with it, and more companies, it create uh, jobs that involve cyber security. For example, in most organizations, they have their chief information security officer. It is a requirement. So it creates an opportunity for new job in terms of cyber security. But my concern with regards to IR 4.0, what will be the implication is on the impact to countries that uh, still at 2.0 and 3.0. As you know, as you can foresee, the job created will be at only at countries that are ready for this. Yeah, that already embracing technology. Can you imagine countries that have yet to embrace technology? They are still at 2.0. Water supply still a problem. Electricity more. Let's not talk about connectivity. So uh, this will create increase of poverty, inequality, unemployment, and generally the overall well-being of society. Yeah, so that's my greatest concern, because as I can as I've said earlier, the richest 1% of the population now owns half of all household wealth. 1% own half. Can you imagine that? And this is where as a planet, yeah, countries have to collaborate to make sure that no country left behind and the wealth are fully distributed. Yeah, because we don't want to uh, as I mentioned earlier, 4.0 has great potential to bring positive impact to society at large. There are still parts of the world that are still going through IR 2.0 and IR 3.0, and this unevenness will lead to a greater divide between the have and the have not due to the potential adverse impact of IR 4.0, which is wealth inequality and massive job loss. Because when we talk about job loss, it's talk about traditional jobs, creation of new jobs, and this country are not ready for that. So let's not talk about Malaysia. Let's talk about the world, because when there are inequality, it will create human implication. Yeah. Thanks for the questions, and thanks. I believe that you care about what's the consequence to human to civilization. Yeah.
Right. So thanks, 𝘱𝘺𝘺𝘭𝘆, for that question. Just a follow-up question from there. You mentioned that some countries are still in the IR 2.0 phase or the previous phases. For them
Or
to
two. Yeah.
advance,
Mhm.
what should they do, or where would the change be coming from? Will it be coming from the authorities, or will it be from the people, or where would that change root from?
Of course, because different country they have different stage. We know that they are still the bottom 10 country, poor country. They
Right.
yet to move to develop, to become a developing country like Bhutan, country like Nepal, and this is where United Nation or Malaysia as a country, we can always reach out to them and providing with the assistance that they need. Yet, sometime another thing that we need to uh, to do, we shouldn't be
Mhm.
imposing our definition of happiness to others. Yeah,
Right. Of course.
because I can imagine for Bhutan, for example, yeah, what they are measuring happiness index, which is for them it's not about the property, it's not about the wealth, it's about the health and the happiness of the citizens. So as a nation, for example, Malaysia, we cannot impose, so you see, you are uh, behind time. But if they enjoy that, if that's what they want, yeah, in reality, when we go through life, we realize that what we are chasing after in life is not necessarily what we need, like fancy cars or big houses, big home. Yeah,
Mhm.
you can have a big house, but not necessarily a home.
Right.
So these are the things that we shouldn't be imposing to others. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's a really insightful there. Thank you for that. So the next question we have is from Vignesh Mathavan.
Mhm.
And their question is, does the virtual career fair serve as the best platform compared to physical fair? If not, so would you mind sharing your opinion from Employer Insight? So I think his question is a virtual fair the best platform for networking and for a career advancement? If not, what is?
Well, of course, given a choice, physical career fair is much better. Yet, taking cognizance of our current situation of COVID-19, I know it's challenging for GRADUAN, for example, to organize a physical. I think it is the right decision when GRADUAN decided not to proceed with the physical career career fair, because can you imagine if we have a cluster called GRADUAN cluster? It'd be challenging. It'd be challenging. So in the absence of such, physical career fair, virtual career fair like this is a good option. Yeah. So one thing that I need to mention about technology, yeah, technology is a good servant, but it is a dangerous master. So I do not fear in terms of the abuse of technology, but I fear uh, of not using it at all. Yeah. So I think this is where how we can optimize and leverage on the benefits of using technologies such like a virtual career fair. Thanks, Vignesh. Yeah.
So what I took from that was that, I mean, towards the last part, you mentioned quite memorable quote, actually. Technology is a good servant, but a bad master.
Yes. Yeah.
And you feel that what's worse than overusing technology is not using it at all. Is that right?
Yes. Correct.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we hope you viewers are listening quite carefully because that is really good advice. So the next question we have is from Adrian Lee.
Uh-huh.
His question is actually something that a lot of people do ask, and that we have received this question before. With
Mhm.
IR 4.0, what is still preventing companies from allowing higher flexibility and remote working?
Okay. I like that question. You know why? TM, for example, we introduced our flexible working arrangement back in 2018. Yeah, and even the Talent Corp has been promoting FWA, flexible working arrangement, for years. But it took a virus less than a month to promote remote working. So what stopped companies from embracing remote working is basically mindset. Of course, technology capabilities, but I think most of us, especially in Klang Valley, we have the connectivity. So it's not about connectivity. It's not about. It's more about mindset because people always and they used to go to the office. Human, we are a creature of habits. Yeah? It is our habit to wake up and then to go to the office, meet up with people, yeah, having meetings. Yet one thing that I realized, the advantage of meeting online, the meeting will stop on time and focus on the agenda. Is that's something really good, especially in Malaysia, because I noticed that in Malaysia, our respect for time is not that great. So virtual meeting somehow or rather have changed that, because if you have to stop at 11, you have to stop at 11, right? Because the system will cut it off.
Right.
So to answer your
Yeah.
question, it's all about mindset. And let's remind that because it is our mindset as well. Yeah. So when all of you become
Mhm.
leaders, please remember that uh, to shift our paradigm. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. So the questions are coming in hot and fast as well. We have another, but before we move on, actually, I'll just be sending over the results of the second poll that we had. About 60% do feel that they have the necessary skills for the modern workplace. 18 of that 16% are very confident in that, while 30% are neutral and the other 11% disagree. What's your take on that, sir?
Okay. Okay. I have the essential. Strongly agree 18, agree 41. So we can say neutral is 30%. Wow. This is so I think one positive insight that we can gather from this, the audience today, you recognize the importance of digital skills. Yeah, because I can share with you where you are as a generation compared to my generation. You have more digital skills compared to us because you are digital native. You are born
Yep.
in the
Yep.
tech era. Yet
Mhm.
when you respond like this, it demonstrates humility. It also demonstrates that you're willing to learn. That, for me, is a good start. So it's not a surprise yet. I would like to encourage all of you uh, to learn more about digital skills. I give example Coursera, MDET, MDEC F Engage, Coursera, where there are 3,800 online courses, digital courses, for example, like Python. So I'd like to encourage all of you. It is free for Malaysian until 31st December. Yeah? So there's another 2 months, give or take. So go to MDEC, look at Coursera, register yourself, enroll in the digital skill programs. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so guys, check out MDEC and check out the online courses that they offer to advance your digital skill set. So the next question actually we have is about online courses and digital skill sets. It's from Jamie. He's asking, websites such as LinkedIn and Coursera provide online courses for skills in the job market and also provide a certification upon completion. Do you think that online courses match those of a physical workshop? What's your take on that? So he's pretty much asking if there's a disadvantage or there's an advantage to taking a physical course rather than an online course.
Well, I've taken a lot of online courses as well. Yeah. For example, I make it a personal commitment. Every year, I must complete one leadership program. So that's why this year, for example, I completed with Oxford Business School, Side Business School. Yeah, and last year was with Cambridge. Of course, I wish I can attend the physical program, but as you know, with COVID-19 is challenging for us. Yet, uh, when you look at online, the online learning tools now has improved much better compared to before. It is more interactive. It is more open in terms of where you able to be more focused and able to be more participative. So there are some jobs, there are some programs that it is as good as physical training, because you know the good thing about online, it is self-paced. Yeah. So physical is not, it is trainer's pace. For example, the trainer will conduct from 9 to 5. You cannot pace yourself. Imagine learners, because learners, they have different profile. There are four types of learners. There are people that have difficulty with their span of attention, people like me. Yeah? I have difficulty in terms of giving full attentions. Then I noticed that online learning is really helpful, and I prefer online learning because I can learn at my time, at my own time, because my best time is early in the morning, like 5 6 a.m., and nobody want to conduct physical training at 5 to 6 a.m., but with online you can do that. So I must say that there's a lot of advantages in terms of online learning. And the good thing about COVID-19, it forced us to embrace online learning. So well done. I think it's good that you have started doing your online programs, Coursera, and certification. Yeah, keep it up. Yeah. So of course, later on, you can always complement that with physical training programs. Yeah. Thanks.
All right. We're actually coming to the end of the session, but we have time
Yeah.
for another question. And I think this question is quite straightforward. How does it's from Zainab Ahmed. How does TM deal with the new normal? Maybe from this question, you can elaborate on the different initiatives TM has taken to
Ah,
ensure a safe workplace.
okay. Thank you very much. For TM, we have more than 22,000 employees. Our guiding principle is our employee well-being is our utmost priority. Yeah. So the first case of COVID-19 in Malaysia was in 21st January. Yet we have started our initiative of preparing the organization for COVID-19 started back in 21st January. Yeah. So for this earlier before the first case, positive case in Malaysia, when the Prime Minister announced MCO, yeah, the first thing that we communicate from the our group CEO, two things. We communicate to our employees. One, we assure their job security, and two, no pay cut. So these are the two things to provide assurance to the employees. And based on the survey that we have conducted, it shows that TM have done much better compared to the average benchmark companies that participated in the survey. So there are so many initiatives. For example, recently, the third wave of COVID-19, the virus is more infectious, and you read in the news about cases in Telecom Malaysia. Yes, what we have done, we quickly work with Ministry of Health, where we roll out because the first thing that you need to do is to protect uh, the workforce. So we declare work from home first, work from home nationwide. Second, we focus on the P1, which is the patient with positive, as well as the close contact, because we want to break the chain. And today I can announce that for the last 5 days consecutively, there's no more positive cases among our employees, and we are monitoring the situation. And together with Malaysian, we are praying that we able to embrace the COVID-19 pandemics. And thanks for asking that particular questions. Of course, when we talk about challenges, challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what make life meaningful. Let me repeat that. Challenges are what make life interesting, like COVID-19. Overcoming them is what make life meaningful. Earlier, I mentioned about the importance of mindset. If we change the way that we look at things, the things that we look at will change, and our life is as good as our mindset. Yeah, Wafi.
Yeah, sorry, I was just writing that down. Challenges are what makes life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
it's really nice to know that TM is doing their part and taking the COVID-19 pandemic very seriously. I'm sure most of us can learn from the example that TM is setting. So unfortunately, we're coming towards the end of the session. Thank you so much to everyone who have sent in their questions. But before we go, we're just going to play another short video. That's going to be the one that we played earlier. We understand that there were audio issues in the beginning, so we'll just be playing that one in a second. Yep. All right, it's going to start right now.
TM has been at the forefront of every telecommunications technology evolution in Malaysia. Our digital infrastructure, connectivity, and solutions will fast forward Malaysia into the Industrial Revolution 4.0 era and beyond. And TM is now 5G ready. We're ready to elevate the quality of life for every Malaysian as we progress to become a digital society, digital economy, and digital government, transforming into a digital nation to make life and business easier for a better Malaysia.
Wow, okay, that video definitely makes me quite excited for the digital Malaysia. I'm very much looking forward to that. And I really like hearing that TM is ready for 5G. Yep. So before we close the show, sir, would you like to say any final words to our viewers?
Yeah, thank you very much, Wafi. Yeah, thanks to GRADUAN for organizing this. I wish all of you the best in your career journey. Be yourself, be bold, be courageous. And with all of you, with the comments that I received, I strongly believe that Malaysia is in good hand with future leaders like you. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you very much, Intifar, and thank you to everyone for participating in today's session. We definitely hope that you'll gain a lot more insights from this session and help your future career. And what's more important is that we hope you manage to take note of the 10 key digital skills. Do check out TM's virtual booth at GRADUAN Aspire and apply to their future jobs. And follow TM Group, my TM Group on Instagram and LinkedIn at Telecom Malaysia. Don't forget to follow GRADUAN as well. We're right over here. Yep. Facebook and Instagram right over there, GRADUAN. So thank you guys very much, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
2, 3, 4. Baby, you can get on my boat and make it rock, yes. Make it rock, yeah.
Kita terus berdiri hari ini kerana kita kekal bersama. Kita tempuhi cabaran bersama kerana kita jaga kita. Bersama kita bangkit semula. Membina kehidupan yang lebih baik. Peluang yang lebih cerah. Untuk kita semua, rakyat Malaysia. Walaupun perjalanan masih jauh. Namun kita akan terus melangkah bersama. demi kesejahteraan Malaysia.